Partners of sleep talkers or sleepwalkers, what gems have you to share? We were freshly married and living overseas. My husband hadn't had much sleep the nights before, which usually enhances any sleep talking. It was hot in our room. My husband mumbled something which I didn't quite catch. I asked him to repeat it. He got up, opened the bedroom window and said very pointedly, "Airflow, bitch." Then laid back down, completely asleep. Now, my husband has never, not once, ever called me a name or even raised his voice to me, so this is particularly hilarious. Edit, you guys are far too kind with all the awards and upvotes. Thank you so much. Also, this happened before Breaking Bad was a big thing, so maybe my husband is the original Jesse Pinkman. Except without all the meth and mayhem, of course. I love how you capitalize the word bitch. He used it like a proper noun. My boyfriend once blurted out, "You're putting bread in my ears," in his sleep, mumbled something unintelligible and then followed up with, "and in becoming a sandwich." Still makes me laugh whenever I remember. What are you? An idiot sandwich. Fantastic sleep songs with lyrics which are utterly bizarre. My two absolute favorites have been 1, "Oh whoa whoa, it's a corner cat," 2, "Obey my rules, and you'll always be a country cowboy," repeated about 5 times and finished with a "yeah." Corner cat is amazing. That might make it into a song of mine. That was literally it as well. Like a jingle from a TV advert. No context, warning or other words or lyrics whatsoever. Absolutely incredible. I'm a sleep talker. A long while back my fiancée was working a job where she didn't get home until after midnight. She came home one night, and was leaning over the table on my side of the bed. She swears up and down that I looked up at her, smacked her on the top of the head, and when she asked what the hell that I told her I was checking to see if she was a ghost. Now, I do remember having a dream like this, but in my dream my hand did go through her head, proving she was a ghost. I had a dream that my GF was biting my neck playfully. I didn't want that, so I push her gently off and tell her to stop. Soon after I woke up and she was holding her eye and crying. She says I just pushed her, sat upright and straight punched her in the face. She said she wasn't too hurt, but was extremely confused. I had a girlfriend do that to me. I was in bed playing a game on my laptop with headphones. She sat up, looked at me, punched me right in the face, then went back to bed. Apparently I cheated on her in her dream and deserved getting hit. Roommate freshman year of college was a sleepwalker sleep talker. We were in the freshman dorms, small little room. I woke up one night and saw him sitting straight up on the side of the bed just staring at me, eyes fully open, just talking gibberish about golf. He was going on about Phil Mickelson or some shit. Have to be honest, it was creepy as all hell because he was staring directly into my eyes. Next morning, I told him about it and he just laughed and said, "Sorry, I tend to do that from time to time." A friend who was next to my room in a high school dorm used to sleepwalk. He also used to sleep earlier than the rest of the floor. So one night, around midnight, we all were up and talking in my room, except him. He'd gone to sleep. We were kinda worried that the dorm advisor would cut our chill session and tell us to go to sleep. Suddenly, we hear someone banging on the door of the room. I get up to go open it and as soon as I turn the handle, the door comes flying towards me. I was knocked back into a table and standing there was my sleepwalking friend. He says, "Where's the secret of the time?" And without waiting for an answer, walks back to his room, climbs into his bunk bed top and goes to sleep. Needless to say, we were all surprised, but being teenagers, we never let him forget it. It became a running joke in the school. Did he ever discover where the secret of the time was? Redacted. I have had funnier experiences than this one, but cannot remember exactly what was said. Most recently, though, my boyfriend scoots over to meet a big spoon, little spoon, and I snuggle in, thinking that's all it was. Then he gets real close to my ear and whispers, "Just so you know, Therese something in the closet." Like a cartoon turtle. I did my best not to bust out laughing and just said, "Okay honey." When he woke up, he had no memory of it whatsoever, of course. Were you the slightest bit concerned of the cartoon turtle? I would have checked the closet. Then you would not survive the horror movie. He got up, went into the kitchen and ate one bite of a mini pecan pie, no fork, just a straight bite, then apparently remembered he hates pecan pie and left it stacked neatly on the little box. Another time he sat up and stared straight ahead at the wall, didn't respond to me asking what was wrong. He stood up, walked into the wall, then stood there like he was contemplating the barrier. He just backed up exactly as he came, sat down and swung back into bed like nothing happened. That was creepy. I was in my brother's room watching TV with him and he ended up falling asleep. He mumbled something about Arizona and when I asked what he said he didn't respond. Then a few minutes later he sits up, squints his eyes and just scans the room back and forth. I asked if he was okay and he laid back down and went back to sleep. I still don't know what he was scanning the room for, but it creeped me out. Kinda sounds like my friend sitting up and going, "Salt. Where's the salt?" And just sat there looking around for a few seconds before going back to sleep. He started shouting that he couldn't feel his left arm. I pointed out he was pinching his pillow, not his arm. He then freaked out that he had lost his arm. I pointed out his arm was under his pillow. He said okay and started snoring. It took me another hour to get back to sleep. He didn't wake up at all. Edit, Blimey went to bed and this went crazy overnight. Thanks to those who reached out in concern to check on his health. He participated in a sleep study and it was found to be stress related. Luckily not sleep apnea. Also, he did wake up, just not until morning. Didn't realize it phrased it in such a way that people thought had died. My aunt likes to tell the story about her and my cousin sharing a hotel room one time. My aunt woke up having to pee and found my cousin sitting up in bed with her arms folded across her abdomen, kind of rocking back and forth and giggling quietly. When my aunt asked her what she was doing, my cousin said, "I'm holding a baby and it has an adult smile." I found this story deeply unsettling. Get the holy water. My mom sleepwalks sometimes. When she was in the middle of her residency, she came into my room in the middle of the night and sharply asked, "Did you give patient her dose of medication like I asked you to 15 minutes ago?" I groggily replied, "Who? Wha?" She just huffed and said, "Well, I guess that answers my question," before turning around and leaving. Without closing the door, of course, she didn't remember a thing about it the next morning. What is it with moms never closing bedroom doors? It transcends age, race, location, and all other demographics imaginable. If you're a mom, bedroom doors do not close. It is the way. To the moms reading this, be the change. I always close the doors, but my wife never does. Our daughter says she always knows who's been where because of this fact. My girlfriend was sleepwalking one night. Her, "Can we get that done this week?" Me, "Huh?" Her, "Can we get that done this week?" Me, "Sorry?" Her, "Can we get that done this week, please?" Me, "Okay." Her, "Thanks." My husband once sat bolt upright on bed and announced, "You're not working hard enough. I have to fire you," and went back to sleep. My husband sat up straight and yelled, "What the fuck?" and laid down again, got all cozy and not another word from him after that. Freaked me out. Sounds like he just got fired for not working hard enough. I'd be the king of Monaco. My wife said this one night out of nowhere. The funniest part was her tone of voice, proud and assertive, like she was really sure of her claim to the throne. Anyway, the joke's on her. Monaco is a principality. Wow, thanks everyone. I've never had a post or comment get above 10 upvotes before and definitely never had any awards. Well, I think you'll find the joke's on you. A King of Monaco is a nickname they give to people who have won the Monaco Grand Prix and Formula 1. Edit 1, why is this my most upvoted thing on Reddit? And word corrections. So you saying their wife wants to be a race car driver? My brother did that in the middle of the night. He would get up, go into the living room, say some nonsense shit to our parents and go back to bed. It was actually pretty creepy the first times, because he was like, "They are in the walls. They are." I do this too. But I usually wake up as the sentence is coming out of my mouth and realize the convo I'm replying to wasn't real. Then I yell "never mind" and run away in shame. My one claim to sleep talking fame is that as I was waking up I was talking in my dream, so my partner heard me say, out of nowhere, "What about like a really tall giraffe?" I remember saying it. I have no memory of what problem I was facing that I thought might be solved by a really tall giraffe. Honestly, what situation isn't improved by a really tall giraffe?